both know where we want to be going, but for some time it hasn't been flowing. Now I watch as he slips through my fingers one last time. Love burns hot and fast.
So my name is Eleanor Shaw and I'm the Artistic Director of People Speak Up. We're an arts, health and wellbeing organisation that connects communities through storytelling, spoken word, creative writing and the arts. And today we've had one of our main events called Spoken Word Saturday, and it's on the second Saturday of every month in the wonderful Ffyrnisfach at the old Zion Chapel. And really it's about the community coming together to share their stories, their poetry, the written word, but with the main emphasis on people coming to meet up, listen up and speak up.
I don't want you to feel blue. I can't take a weight of you. I don't want you to be wasted. I got the space to lift you out.
No one has ever caught a rainbow. She keeps her distance, leading the supplicant ever on. But that day, about to turn away, the fool emerged. From mud and thorn, hair wild, jacket torn, and saw a cuckoo.
Glittered faces, a teen in heels. He leans against the lamppost and he feels the feels. A leatherman grins, he's been here before. This bloody heat, love, my thighs will be raw. A woman moves dancing. She's holding the hand of a lady she married in June, not a man. The mother is here to cry for her son, crocheting rainbows all summer long. LGBTQ+. Some people ask us, why all the fuss? We marched for each other, we marched for ourselves. A people united, not left on the shelves of anger and hatred and fear for ourselves.
In the dark of shadow time, sea spray breaks on those same rocks whose changing colours have danced down the path of tomorrow into yesterday. Dark shadowlands before a light's fingers touch the meeting space between the worlds. Up from the sea across the headlands, wind's breath is heard, tossing the astrological glyphs as they welcome new spirit and acknowledge another's passing.
Now there's blood. Avoid disaster, hurry up and get a plaster. Pack of 100, bargain buy. Most too small to use, that's why. Waterproof until you wet them. Oh, for goodness sake, forget them. Bleeding stopped so I'll survive and maybe end the day alive. Sear the meat and add some gloop. Shortcut, use it in soup. Potatoes boiling. Just a few. That's all that's left, they'll have to do. Had as much as I can take, could really use a coffee break. I finally serve this makeshift fare. They don't complain, they wouldn't dare. At least they've had a meal to eat. I really cannot stand this heat. And now my tale of woe is told, but of course my coffee's cold. We're having omelettes tomorrow if the eggs haven't gone off.
Now this is a poem for Mark. Mark made his mark wherever he went. Dynamic voice, never spent. Wash day blues, poetic hues were at his command in our Welsh land. Dylan was gifted to place words on the page. Mark had the gift in expressing the sage. His voice, seasoned and sound, words spilled, heartfelt, profound. We met, shook hands, his long hair falling in strands as he stood tall in Capel Sion's hall. Eleanor's spoken word, his choice to share, his craft and his wares. His eyes roved around, then Mark's feet left the ground, charging pulpit steps as in flight I witnessed his might. Words clung to the rafters, breastbone vibrated, sated, midst angels of crafters. Thank you, Mark, for energy instilled, memories left, always remembered, poetic charms fulfilled. Goodbye, my friend.
That I don't know my name, I don't play by the rules of the game, so you say I'm just trying, just trying. I now know my name, I don't play by the rules of the game, so you say I'm not trying, but I'm trying to find my way.
All right then, you can have your choice from these. Mind you may find that you don't like them at all, or you may have to make a choice between them. It's up to you. Wonderful. Thank you so much. This is paradise. Goodbye. Fiona thought some more and added, I'll just give you something to remember me by. I wouldn't want you to forget this, Ian. And then proceeded to produce his final trick, an image of himself. After which, being somewhat pleased with himself for solving his problem, he relaxed. Excuse me, a small voice said.
I was like a lamb to the slaughter. I walk along, whoosh, I'm pulled over, and I end up lengthways on top of the late Mrs. Esmeralda Fortescue. I could not get up. I was flapping around like a whatever it is. At that moment, PC Plod is passing by on the road in his new 4x4 police Land Rover. And he looks across. No, I can't turn my head, can I? So he looks across like that, looks down over the wall, and he sees, what does he see? He sees a man of indeterminate age flapping lengthways on top of the last remains of a lady of some repute, shall we say. I spent longer in Kidwelly Police Station than I would have done in Glangwili A&E. Now, the moral in the story is this. If you have a pacemaker, two things. Check who the owner was and find out where they are now residing, and double check and make sure they change the coordinates.
Come sit at my loving table, feast on unconditional till your vitals are stable. I will fill you a bath of lavender and healing waters. I will wash off all the marks that pain had taught her, give her some hope, a little fight. I will show her there is a way out of the darkness, is towards the light, forgiveness, patience, and love. I will treat all this way, as darkness has only ever brought me more pain.
Feel like a fool 'cause I'm bound and I stay. We both know where we want to be going, but for some
It's really important for us that everybody feels an individual and that they all have a voice. Our event really is about inclusivity, and it's about bringing people together from all backgrounds, beliefs, and whatever they're going through to feel that they can come here and be part of something really special.
The purpose of being here today is to try and explore a new concept of a play in a pint. We're very familiar with poems and pints, but not with the concept of a play in a pint. And also to try and sort of get this part of the world a little bit more. I'd love to see a theatre company based somewhere in Carmarthenshire. There's nothing between Neath and Milford Haven. So if we had that concept of all the talented people that we have locally, if we had something for them, and it's just an exploration. It may work, it may not, who knows.
So we'll have one part of that duet today, but not the pints. But we are on the world premiere of a very short tour today. We are here this afternoon, then we're in Alolva in Buryport at 6:30, so we'll be shooting off fairly quickly afterwards. Tomorrow night we're in the Red Lion in Pembrey. Monday afternoon we're in Jerusalem for the Friendship and Community Group in Buryport. And then Monday night we have our final performance in the Shipperground. And we'll probably have an end of tour party.
Hello, this is the rugby club. It says here they're training on Saturday and Monday night.
Sorry, I'm looking for the rugby club. It says here women train on a Saturday and Monday night. Is this the rugby club? My name's Tina and I've been told I'd be really good at rugby. My father used to play for the third team, youth. Seconds of the third team youth. And he told me I'd be really good at it. He played with Graf once for Mynydd Garrig. That was for the first team. They didn't have a seconds then. Go out there, Tina. Make friends, roll around in the mud and have a ball. That's my dad said. He's not really my dad. He's my stepdad, twice removed. But I'm not very big for my size, but I can run. I was faster than all the boys in my school, and they didn't like that. Used to run and jump on top.
For this year, we're just concentrating on monologues because it's easier, because we haven't had time to rehearse. We'll have a debrief. If we think this works for next year, then hopefully we can do something a little bit more ambitious as far as putting things together. But the monologue is a great way of saying, you practice separately. I mean, some people are based in Cardiff, without dragging people back and say, yeah, let's put it together and do it that way.
This is Chloe. She was stunning, really beautiful. I've got another one of her. Here. I was closer to her than anyone, except Jerry. I'd sleep with her sometimes when she was ill. I'd nuzzle my head right into her neck and she'd plant a lollopy wet one on the side of my ear. Yeah, real softy she was. Then I'd wake up with black all down the side of my head. Because we used to brush them with Paraglus, see, to bring up the shine.
Spoken word Saturday is something I've been familiar with for a long time, and to be absolutely honest, it's really surprised me, because when the concept was first aired, I think it's probably based on the fact that you have somebody who's an incredible driver with Eleanor, with that vision to try and bring people together. The thing that has really surprised me is that getting that eclectic variety of people just doing anything, and I think that's stunning. And it is, and that's part of the same thing though, isn't it? Having that chance just to sort of give people that opportunity. I did say a little bit glibly about being professional within that. Professional just means, you know, that you're lucky enough, hopefully, to earn some money. Amateur means for the love of it. So if we've got the professional side just for the money and you've lost the love of it, then you've lost the very core of what you're trying to do.
We walked down the dirt road to the home Lottie Jacobi shared with Beatrice Trum Hunter. Lottie was a famous photographer. She took portraits of Einstein, Chagall, Eleanor, Roosevelt. Bea was a natural foods maven. She provided pesticide research to Raquel Carson for Silent Spring. I did not know this then. Lottie and Bea were neighbours. Lottie took pictures of my friends searching for turtles or playing with Brea plastic horses. Watching that historic Nixon speech with those incredible women, I was thinking about arguing with my father if he would yell, if we would ever talk again. I was a fierce rebel, but completely unaware of the blinders still solidly soldered onto my eyes. I didn't know then that women could be heroes.
Walking barefoot on the beach. The retreating tide shows the fissures in the world. Hot on the back of my neck, the dandelion pinhole sun shines hot. Above, the fish and chip seagulls whirl and cry, scattering their fractal, shadow-shifting shapes and shadows on the sand. I kneel, and at the ocean of words, with cupped hands, I draw some of my own from that sea. I taste them, sweet, salty, bittersweet. The water touches my feet. Friendships, like froth in the wake of my life. The sea tide ebbs. The fishes grow larger. I cast my words into the air, shining bright as my legacy. I climb into the fishes and close behind me.
Currently, People Speak Up is working on a project called Llanelli Voices. It's an intergenerational project bringing together the young and old to celebrate their town. We've been working with spoken word artists like Rufus Mafasa, storyteller Phil O'Queedy, visual artists Mark Foles, another amazing sand artist Mark Trenner. So we've been creating a graffiti street art wall in the main town centre. We've created a pop-up art and story space in the Llanelli market. And next week we're going to be working on a big piece of sand art on Llanelli Beach and filming it with a drone. So it's brilliant to see the young and old come together and really share, moments from their lives.
Life can be shit sometimes. Well, it has been in the past. I've told lies just to boost the mask of the situation and not make it feel so bad. Today, they say, is the first day of the rest of your life. Will I still feel the pain now that I do not oversee my mother's illness as I walk into the unknown? Will I be overwhelmed? Will I make a pact? Or will I have the strength to own my own destiny?
Okay. I watch him from above, a tapestry of life rolling out on the tiny panel floor beyond. Through the darkness, I see his brows casting down, piercing his lips with thought. I clamber down into his world and kiss his darkened eyes. If I could calm each voice and fingertip that curves his silent veins, there would not be a single word that was not mine, nor a single undefined touch. To bring the sun in one perfect moment, one sweep of sugared salvation, I would give a universe of time.
Right. It's called tea. Bubbles in the fast-poured, slowly stirred tea spin round. It's hot to sip, but the desire for something to comfort is strong. I leave a crescent of rose musk lipstick on the rim. Tea burns its way down the esophagus. I moan slightly. The fantasy of adding a drop of brandy quickly subsides. I step out briefly from under the eave, and raindrops drip inside my collar. The cormorants on the island entertain us. There isn't anything else to say. This perfect moment, this unbeknown goodbye.
Still, putrid slums. Still, people suffering while the rich grow fat. If there is no justice, there can be no peace. Money talks. Its mouth is full of blood. It has no friends, and it won't stay long. But one day, it will hear our voices as we come as accusers of its crimes. And on that day, all accounts will be settled. And on that day, all debts will be paid.
Born under a neem tree in the middle of a turbulent monsoon night, that muffled a mother's cries. Rain dripped from leaves overhead and mingled with a mother's tears of anguish, dribbling on to the newborn she clasped.
Me looking at him looking at me. And I remember that. All that's in my head now. All that, and they're just gonna tear the place down, cover it with brick and concrete, and fine. Fine. If that's what it takes.
Silver speckled sparkles are new dew droplet sprinkles upon glaucous grass. Such specks multiply exponentially at an especially spectral spectacle. Captivating twilight capitulates while gloaming's gleaming glimmers dim at fade of day.
The wind then started sobbing, its tears on my window pane, gently trickling down in sweet refreshing rain. Soon after, as I dried the tears from my eyes, the sun came through and a rainbow beautified the skies. I greeted people with much glee. Isn't it a lovely day? I smiled as I wandered through the thoroughway. Now, no one ever could connect the great affinity that drew the two of us together, the sobbing wind and me. As the good book says, tears last for a night, but joy cometh in the morning.
Someone called me sister the other day and asked me to pray for them. They seemed to recognize a part of me, the curve of my jaw, the arch of my back, the bow of my head, which is no longer recognizable to me. I prayed, but not as I am now. I prayed as I was then, with a faith I no longer possess. Chapel bells which called out for the rising dawn must have, somehow, left a trace of their melodies in me, or perhaps the sniff of incense from Mass all those nights before has etched its scent into my flesh and perfumed me eternally.
And what time do you call this? The show was prompt, the blue a storm surge, fleeting as cherry blossom time or self-combusting blue touch paper. So no encores. The show is over. We Oaks have merely waited behind as we said we would. Some signage is still in evidence, pointing out the right way, some suggesting another and more sinister one. Like speech bubbles, the utterances come straight out of the mouth of the earth.
We did have a rehearsal as well. People have rehearsed independently, and then we rehearsed on Thursday night. What I love about that is we had the meet and greet, then we had the read-through, then we had the first rehearsal, then we had the technical rehearsal, then we had the dress rehearsal, and we were done. The cast is a mixture, because what we have there are some people that are graduates. Grace is from Trinity in Carmarthen, Ed was in Aberystwyth, Ollie did the Welsh College of Music and Drama, but he was in Coleg Sir Gar. There's at least another 4 or 5 who can't be here this time, and that says a lot about this area, doesn't it? You know, the people that we are producing that are natural, instinctive performers. And then perhaps we need to look at a little bit of where do they get that outlet? Do we have to go to Cardiff, Bristol, Manchester, London? Is there something we can do a little bit closer? This is an experiment, but I'd love to see something. I'm in talks with Furness. I put in a request for a new writing, a new Welsh language writing piece in this instance. But if we can get the Furness and Theatre Sir Gar to be production houses as well, it doesn't really matter then who's in charge of that, but have them facilitating instead of buying in all the time. If something was homegrown, if something was local, if something came from the area as well, new writing that has that Carmarthenshire West Wales flavour.
He had a drink problem. He used to quote Shakespeare. Ernie, what was his name? I heard him declaiming in the furnace fields, and I went down to where the shouting was, and he was saying every line of Macbeth, and I know the play. And he'd have a different character. He'd change voices. Ernie, what was his name now? He used to drink in the Cornish Arms. Dear God, what a man. Always one step ahead of me. Always had a smile. I bring fresh showers for the thirsting flowers from the seas and the streams. I bear light shade for the leaves when laid in their noonday dreams. From my wings are shaken the dews that waken the sweet buds, everyone when rocked to rest on their mother's breast as she dances about the sun. I wield the flail of the lashing hail and whiten the green plains under, and then again and laugh in rain as I pass in thunder. I am the daughter of earth and water and the nursling of the sky. I pass through the pore of oceans and shores. I change, but I cannot die. And after the rain, when with never the stain, the pavilion of heaven is bare, and the winds and the sunbeams and their convex gleams build up a blue dome of air.
And this is the weirdest part. And you'll think I'm mad? Like bonkers. But there's this woman just standing there, staring at me, all in white, perfectly still, just staring. So I shout out to her, ask her for help, but nothing. She's just staring. So I think this is it, I think I'm gone, so I just close my eyes and... The next thing I know, I'm back by the lighthouse. Face first, on the ground, soaking wet. My missus loves lifeboats.
To get in touch, have a look at our website, www.peoplespeakup.co.uk, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter.
Later on, much later on, Dylan took a wife. Caitlin McNamara was her name. Dylan told her that he loved her on that very night. Shortly